Hey, I'm Steve Mignonti here in Halifax, Vermont at the Paul Crozier Collection with a 1964 Studebaker Wagonaire. Now, putting the air in the Wagonaire is the fact that the steel roof here slides into the roof here, giving plenty of room to haul taller items, things like refrigerators, giraffes that escape from the zoo. You can get them home in this thing right here. Now, the deck on this thing would open up. This goes up or down manually. And then you would turn this thing right here, crank the window down, open it up, and lots of room to go with things inside. And again, there was an option for $100 credit. You get a solid roof Wagonaire, not a Wagonaire, but a wagon if you wanted it, if you didn't want to deal with the raindrops and stuff. These would tend to be very leaky. There's some rubber tubes that drain rainwater from here down through the car to the bottom, and they get a bad reputation for starting to rust. So we get a $100 credit if you didn't want the sliding roof. And these came out in 1963. For a couple, 2-3 years, were available on a few different Studebaker models. This happens to be I believe, a Commander. And there you have it right there. It's cool right here. Wagonaire, and AI. The E is intentional. Studebaker spelled it with an A-I-R-E, kind of a styling touch. And I can't open this up. A couple of grills in here. This is sort of the Studebaker niche of the Paul Crozier collection. But again, we can see those goodies inside. Can't open the door. It has arthritis. But coming to this side here, these also have an unusual wheelbase. These actually have a 109-inch wheelbase, which is 5 inches longer than a lesser Studebaker four-door hardtop. So again, 109-inch wheelbase, 4 inches longer, or 5 inches longer than a regular Studebaker. Give you more room for leg room in the back and cargo. And can't open the door either here, but it's an automatic car, which would have meant, I think, the Borg Warner cast iron 3-speed automatic. Ford, I think, also used a variant of that transmission. And you can see the white steering, the original steering wheel, bench seat car. And under the hood, oh, and by the way, 64 first year for the redesigned A-pillar. 1963 would have had a rounded effect right here, almost a curve, but 64 more modern right here, seen for the first time in 64 on the Studebaker compacts. And here underneath is the mighty Studebaker Inline 6. It's a pushrod overhead valve engine, but this car was built in South Bend, Indiana. We know that because we see 64S. There's some Canadian cars built after December 20th of 1963, when Studebaker moved operations up to Canada. They use Chevy engines, V8s, and 6-cylinder. That's the Studebaker engine, which tells us it was built before the December 20th shutdown of the Studebaker plant. And the grill on this thing is kind of worthy of note. You paid an extra $24 for the dual headlights, 1-2. The base grill or base headlights would have been 1. So $24 well spent to make the car look more modern than it would have with just the single headlights. Crazy but true. Optional quad headlights seen right here. And, pretty well preserved underneath the hood area. Again, rusty as heck. It's done. It's a Commander. That's the model, but a Commander Wagonaire. Something kind of cool about Studebaker. So if you're into a max wedge Mopar, 62, 65 race heavies for that matter, if you want a 15 by 4.5-inch wheel, look no farther than Studebaker. Right here. Studebakers, except wagons, had these rims right here, which take a Mopar hubcap right here. 62 through 6 hubcaps fit these things. But again, on the front of a Mopar Max Wedge or a 65 race hemi, these steel wheels look pretty cool. A little junkyard pro tip. So that's the story of this 1964 Studebaker Wagonaire. And if you collect 1/64th toy cars, Matchbox and Corgi both did versions of the Wagonaire. And I think the Matchbox ones that had a little dog in the back, kind of cool. If you were a kid, you might have had one of those on Christmas morning. So that's the story of this here. Now, on sometime in the next couple of weeks or so, maybe the month, or everything here is going to get crushed. Paul Crozier has to shut the yard down. So if you have any questions about this car or anything you see here, you can reach out to Paul Crozier at paulcroziervt@gmail.com. And Crozier spelled Crosier. And everything here eventually will be crushed or sold. You choose. The world will choose. So that's the story of the Wagonaire, spelled with an E, Wagonaire E. Rare bird right here. 1,206 of these were made. Again, 1,206 of these were built. There we go, in English, please. And that's a very rare car in many ways. So thanks for watching. We'll be back with more. And be sure to subscribe to the C-Mag's YouTube channel. We'll see you tomorrow with more Junkyard Crawl.